Hello there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Pokemon Trainer Neats, and today you're watching episode 8 of Theme Deck Thursday. Today we're going to look at the Mental Might deck, which is one of the built-in theme decks on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online from the Black and White era, and this is one of my most favourite decks to play. Whenever I get a daily challenge that's Psychic Pokemon, I come straight to this deck. As you can see, I've had some reasonable success with the deck. Played 69 total games with the deck, and I've won 40 of them, so we're well over half. So, once this deck gets set up, it is really, really strong. So, let's have a quick look at the deck. I'll show you what's in it, and then we'll head straight into a game. So, this deck has 26 Pokemon, 16 trainers, and 18 energy cards. So, following the same sort of pattern as the other black and white decks. So, we have 3 Woobat, 2 Swoobat, 2 Golett, 4 Rolts, 3 Curlier, 2 Gallade, 3 Skitty, 1 Delcatty, 2 Hoothoot, 2 Miltank, 2 Furfrou, that's it for the Pokemon, then 2 Potion, 2 Professor Letter, 2 Roller Skates, 2 Escape Rope, 1 Evo Soda, 2 Great Ball, 2 Tierno, 1 Pokemon Fan Club, 1 Pokemon Center Lady, and 1 Hard Charm. And then we've got our 18 energy cards. So that is the deck. Now, the main attacker that we want to set up in this deck is Gallade. It has the powerful Storm attack for 2 energy. Does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon. This is insane. For a theme deck, this is insane. Now, if you set this up quick enough and get enough energy on your board, you can absolutely wipe through your opponents. Like, no word of a lie, sometimes I've been behind in games, so say I've gone down like 4 prizes, but I've slowly been setting up a board that's got loads of energy on it, get my Gallade set up, and then I've come back from like 3 or 4 prizes down and taken all 6 prizes one after the other. That is how strong this is. So, that's our main attacker. The other Pokemon are useful backups. We've got Swoobat, that's reasonable for attacking for 1 energy, and we've got Golett as well, but that's a bit energy intensive. Delcatty is more of a backup Pokemon. Miltank is good for getting some quick damage on the board. Obviously, Powerful Friends, if you've got the stage 2 on the bench, it does 70 more damage, so that's a nice 80. So, Miltank and Gallade, probably the 2 main attackers. Furfrou, again, is more of a backup if we're in a tight spot. The Pokemon we want to start with is Hoothoot. Dual draw, each player draws 2 cards. Okay, so it helps your opponent out as well, but just being able to draw cards every single turn is, for a theme deck, that's very, very good. So, that is the deck. Mental Might. So now, let's head over to the Versus mode. We'll do the usual, we'll just go straight into a game, doesn't matter whether we win or whether we lose, we're just going to have fun. So, we're on Theme Deck, we've got Mental Might, let's go! So, I wonder who we're going to be going up against today, and what Theme Deck we're going to be going up against. Still looking for opponent. Here we go. Okay, we're going up against Biffin17, who is using the Incineroar deck from Sun and Moon. We have the advantage. I think some of those fighting Pokemon are weak to Psychic Pokemon though, so that's probably where we get the advantage. So my opponent's calling the coin flip and we lost the coin flip. So, are we going to go first or are we going to go second? We're going second. That's not necessarily a bad thing. And we got the Hoothoot start, so this is near perfect. The thing is with the trainer cards, it really doesn't matter what trainer cards we get because there's so few of them. I mean, Roller Skates, if we can flip heads, that'll be fantastic. But it's a 50-50 chance, so, you know, we'll see. But by going second, it means we can start to use dual draw immediately, so I'm happy with that. Very happy indeed. So my opponent's selecting their starting Pokemon. And we're still waiting on my opponent to select those Pokemon. We've also got Curlier in hand as well, so that's Turn 2 we'll be able to evolve Ralts up to Curlier, which is very, very good. What we need though is plenty of bench Pokemon so that we can spread our energy around. The ideal board setup for this deck is 5 bench Pokemon, all with a couple of energy on them, and Gallade in the active. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, so my opponent opts not to bench a Pokemon, and my opponent started with Torkoal. So, let's see what my opponent's going to do here. If anything. Sometimes in theme decks, battles you can get your opponent being a little slow. But I suppose if you're new to the game, then you're just kind of working out what all the cards do. Or maybe my opponent's computer's a little bit laggy, sometimes you get that as well. Oh, just a pass. So my opponent has nothing. So by using Dual Draw, we're probably going to give them some stuff, but hey, it's a themed out battle. And a heads on roller skates, so that's good. And we hit Tierno as well, so that is very, very good. And we've got Evo Soda as well, so once we've evolved to Curlier, we can then use Evo Soda and evolve to Gallade. So we're in a very good spot here. So we'll bench another Hoothoot, merely that's going to be an energy slave. We'll play Great Ball. Grab another Ralts, that's perfect. Obviously there is 2 Gallade in the deck, so we can get a full 2 lines of Gallade set up, so this has been a marvellous start. So we'll dual draw. And we're drawing to Miltank as well. This is good. So, my opponent's turn. My opponent draws for turn. So what's my opponent must have something in that hand. Surely. My opponent doesn't seem to be doing anything. Just a pass. Well, at this rate, we're going to have to play a second game because at the moment this is very one-sided at the moment. So we'll attach energy to Curlier, and we'll go for another dual draw. It's a shame if my opponent's not really there because we had a perfect board set up. So what's my opponent going to do? Anything? Well, this is a new one on me. I've not really been in this situation before where my opponent doesn't do anything. I mean, surely there must be something in that hand. Just another pass from my opponent. Okay. Unless there's something glitchy going on my opponent's side. That could also explain it. But we haven't got enough energy yet to knock out the Torkoal anyway. We need more energy on the board first. But we'll bench the Miltank, because we can. And then we'll dual draw. To knock out that Torkoal, we're going to need 6 energy in play. This is going to take another couple of turns to get all the energy required. Saying that though, we could do it in 2 more turns because we could attach another energy, use Swift Lunge and then Powerful Storm for the win, since my opponent doesn't appear to be doing anything. Yeah, just another pass. Well, this is a slight shame really, but I guess that's how it goes. So I'll play the Escape Rope to keep the energy on the board. And then we're going to use Powerful Storm to put 80 damage on the Torkoal. Are we about to see another pass from my opponent, even with that massive hand? Ah, just the concession. Right, okay then. So, we're going to go into another game because we didn't my opponent didn't exactly put up a fight there, so, yeah, we're going to go into another game. Because I really want to showcase this deck, so... Yeah, we're going to head into another game. 50 tokens, very nice. Okay, so... How many versus points does that give us? So I think we had the advantage, so that'll just give us 10 points, won't it? Yes, it will. But we get 150 tokens from that, very nice. Oh, nice total of tokens as well. 2,744, 7 and 4 are my favourite, two lucky numbers, so that's all good. Right, let's head into a second game, see if we can get a better game this time. So this opponent is playing the Night Striker deck from Breakthrough. This should be a little more of a challenge. So, we're going to call a coin flip, we're going to call heads, and we won the coin flip, so we will go first. Let's see if we can get as good a starting hand as the last game. Well, I see Tierno in there, and we have got a basic Pokemon. It's by no means perfect. And that Night Striker deck is very, very strong. In fact, in the online shop on TCGO, it's actually listed as the staff pick because the deck is so good. So we're in for a rough ride. So my opponent starts Noibat there. Right, so we're going to play roller skates first. Come on, heads. Damn it. Okay, Tierno it is then. So Tierno draws 3. Well, we get a couple more Pokemon, so I suppose that's something. And we did draw into the second Tierno, so we'll just drop our energy onto the Golett for now. And then we'll just have to pass. There's not really a lot else we can do at this present time. So we see the energy attachment onto Noibat from my opponent. And just a pass. So my opponent doesn't have much. Okay, so we're going to attach a second energy to Golett. We're going to play Tierno to draw 3 cards. We get Curlier, but no Ralts. So actually I'm going to play Escape Rope here, just to get the Woobat onto the bench, and then we can at least do 10 damage. So we're going to go for Beat for 10 damage to the Noibat. Now, if my opponent doesn't get another Pokemon here, then we are actually going to win, because we've got the energy in hand. But you can guarantee if we win this game and I go into a third game, we'll lose. Oh, no, it's okay. My opponent's got a Pokemon, so the game is not over yet. That's good. Because I would like this game to be a reasonable game. So, what has my opponent got for us? Besides benching the Inkay. Blocked for 10 damage. And they healed the 10, but that doesn't matter because we're going to knock them out anyway. So at the moment, we're kind of in a situation where we haven't really got any... We haven't got our Ralts, so we can't be setting up Gallade. I would like to be setting up Gallade, let's make that quite clear. What's this then? Roller skates, okay. If we flip heads on that, we might get somewhere. So my opponent promotes Inkay. Draws for turn. What's my opponent got? Now, we can't knock out this Inkay in one hit because it has Psychic Resistance. So it will take us 2 turns to knock it out. There's a Professor's Letter from my opponent, which is going to grab... nothing, because my opponent's going to concede. Well, okay then. I think maybe we leave it there, to be honest, because we could search all day. The thing is about Theme Deck Thursday, I don't edit games out because they're theme decks, so it really doesn't matter. Nice 25 tokens there. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it there, because we've got 2 wins. In Game 1, I showed you that it's possible to get Gallade set up, and we were able to kind of get stuff done there. Game 2... obviously my opponent, we took the knockout on the Noibat and then my opponent just conceded. But that also does show the fragility of theme decks, because obviously if you don't get your Pokemon, even though theme decks run so many, if you don't get your Pokemon, or if your opponent doesn't get their Pokemon, then it's winning by benching your opponent out is very possible in this format. It really is. Because although there's so many Pokemon, there's also a high volume of energy as well, so if you're drawing one or the other, and not the one that you need, then, you know, that's the way it goes. Okay, so that is it for another episode of Theme Deck Thursday. Similar to TCG Weekly, there will be no Theme Deck Thursday next week. This is because I've got dance competitions with my school. I'll be there with my students all day, every day. It'll be 13-hour days, maybe even 14-hour days. It's going to be very long days. I'm basically going to be there from very early in the morning till very late at night, so there won't be any time for video making. But rest assured, I will be back in 2 weeks' time, and the next deck we're going to look at is going to be this Rallying Cry deck. So this is, well, you'll find out in 2 weeks, but it's a colourless and water deck, which is really quite good. But you'll find out all about that in 2 weeks' time. So usual things, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, you know, like, tell your friends about it. If you've got anybody who's just getting into the Pokemon trading card game, you know, theme decks are kind of your way into the game. They're kind of entry level, so, you know, by all means let all your friends know and tell them about these videos. So, you can get in touch with me the usual ways. You can get in touch with me via email at, on PokemonTrainingNeats@hotmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at PokemonTrainingNeats. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks.